All right, we've hit the category where every great filmmaker strives for, and that is Best Picture. Now, this is the most debated category in the history of the Oscars, obviously, not just because it's the biggest, but because there's been so many films that would even be considered to be a great film that have not only been nominated, but won. One of the ones I can think of is a film called The Greatest Show on Earth. Really a good film made into a spectacle, but great hardly.
Yeah.
Even with actors like Jimmy Stewart. But that's the thing. It just certain Best Pictures do not work.
Absolutely,
for me.
absolutely. This past year, I had lost my job, and so I spent a lot of time watching all of the Best Picture winners.
Yes.
And that's something that I've always wanted to do, and I'm more than halfway down my list, and I was watching great films like It Happened One Night from 1934 to Shakespeare in Love in 1998 to...
That's one of my least favorites.
Actually, I really liked that one.
Oh, no!
Like this, I didn't like The Departed, but you loved The Departed.
Oh, that's true.
So,
We did heavily disagree on The Departed.
Yeah. But yeah, I agree with you. Some are hit and miss. My favorite Best Picture winner is probably Ordinary People from 1980.
It's fantastic.
Fantastic film,
Yes.
absolutely.
Great performances from all.
Yeah, and the interesting thing about this year, and it hasn't been done since 1944, 45,
Yes.
is they now have 10 nominations. Usually they just have 5, but this year they're doing 10. And I said to you, I think halfway through the year, when did they announce it? Like March or April?
It was March or April. It was
And I think like halfway through the year, I was like, I don't know if they're going to be able to find 10 to nominate because the year was sucking for movies so bad at that point. But the good movies don't usually come out to the end of the year because then they're the freshest in the Academy's mind. But it did kind of redeem itself at the end. So what are your picks?
And another thing I want to point out is that's why I do specials like this is because the films earlier in the year did overlooked a lot of films like this and were earlier in the year. Even The Hurt Locker is back in the summer. So, but again, thankfully to good promotion by Catherine Bigelow and the people involved, it's gotten a life of its own.
Yeah.
But obviously I think The Hurt Locker and Avatar and all those films are going to be nominated for Best Picture. Whether I agree with Avatar or not, it's another story altogether. But the one film that is being overlooked, and it's a film we've discussed already many times, is 500 Days of Summer.
Yes, that's on my list for sure.
That is actually the only film I put on my list, because pretty much everything that I've thought of, I could go through my whole top 10 list, but that's already up on YouTube, folks. Watch it. But that's the film I'm vouching for the most out of all that top 10, because it's my number one pick. It was the best film of 2009.
Absolutely.
And the fact that it's not even being considered to get a nomination is just a downright...
It really is. When you have 10 films that you can possibly nominate and you overlook this film, that's a disgrace. It really is.
Yeah.
I can't see it winning, but it definitely deserves a nomination for sure.
Absolutely.
It was so original, and it took the romantic comedy genre and flipped it on its head.
It really did.
And with excellent performances, not only by its lead characters that we have discussed, its lead actor and actress, but even the supporting actors.
Yes.
I can't remember their names.
They were all very unknown.
That guy from Iron Man, that guy from Criminal Minds, and that other guy.
Oh, look, I remember him from that. Oh,
yeah, exactly.
All the characters in that movie were like, wasn't he on an episode of such and such? That's the thing with that movie too. And even Joseph Gordon-Levitt is still sometimes referred to as that kid from Third Rock from the Sun, or that kid from 10 Things I Hate About You.
Exactly.
And even Zooey Deschanel, I remember her. She was in Yes Man with Jim Carrey. You know what I mean?
She's done a lot of more supporting roles, but
she really has.
And that's what I loved about this film is, Zoe and Joseph came out, and they kind of. This was their big breakthrough almost, even though they are already established actors and they've done a lot of films.
Yes.
They have huge resumes, but this was like their first real lead breakout. All them, they are it.
Yeah.
And it would be really disappointing if it was overlooked. Because it's just tucked away back there. It's not. It wasn't a huge widespread film, I don't think either. And I saw it for the first time in Ireland, actually. So. But yeah, I agree completely that
it's like a coming out party kind of thing.
Yeah.
For them. And good for them. They're actors who've been working for many years. Joseph Gordon-Levitt since he was a kid. He was a child actor for many years in films like Angels in the Outfield, as a matter of fact, where he caught his big break.
Wow.
I believe he was only 12, 13 years old at the time. Yeah. And it's just amazing how finally they're all grown up, both in their late 20s now, and they really just finally got the movie that's going to just, pay dividends. And I think even if they might not get nominated and even if the movie itself won't get nominated, it'll always leave a legacy behind that's better.
Stepping stones to bigger and better things.
Exactly. And it's it's almost like I said, when the term coming out party is properly used, like you can think of, I don't know, what's another example I'm thinking of? Well, Jeff Bridges, who might get nominated this year, his Last Picture Show, which was his big, coming out party, where he was just the son of a legendary actor, Lloyd Bridges. And again, being a second generation actor, it's not easy, and yet pretty much right away he emerged from his father's shadow.
Well, even someone like Ellen Page,
yes,
who had done a bunch of supporting roles in like X-Men and stuff like that.
Very strange indie films too.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then Juno comes out and she just, blows everybody out of the water and just, makes you look at her. And, now every film that she does, you pay attention because she's in it.
She has that character dynamic. Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And what are some of your other picks?
Well, mine were just Up in the Air and The Hurt Locker. Again,
Yes.
we've talked about these throughout the whole show. They're just incredible films, and Up in the Air, I feel, should have beat Avatar at the Golden Globes, but it's just the Golden Globes, so I'm trying to kind of let it be. But it did win for screenplay, and it hugely, hugely deserves it. This I know. Jason Reitman and Sheldon Turner, incredible. They took this story. It was a book by Mark something, I can't remember. Yeah. But
it's hard to pronounce last name.
Yeah. It's a real story. It's a real story about the times that we're in, people losing their jobs, and this man who he doesn't want personal relationship, but he does in a way, and they just brought so many things into it, and they created this character of Natalie Keener for it. I don't think she was in the book, but they created this character, and it just works. It was absolutely. And there's an article in my screenwriting magazine from November, December, creative screenwriting, and it was the cover story actually. And after I saw the movie, I read the article because I could finally relate to it, whatever.
Yes.
And just the journey that these screenwriters went on to create the film that it was, and they richly deserve a screenplay nomination and a picture nomination, and Jason Reitman deserves a director nomination for sure.
Jason Reitman has been an absolute role in his career so far.
And he did Juno as well.
Yes, he did. 3 films, Thank You for Smoking, Juno, and now Up in the Air. Yeah. He's just on a complete roll. It's like some are already deeming him the next Scorsese. And to me, Ivan Reitman was a decent director in his day. He's already surpassed his father in those 3 movies. And it's not easy, again, being a second generation director.
Yeah.
Could you imagine Martin Scorsese's kids trying to direct? Oh my, forget it. It would just be a complete utter disaster.
Yeah. Do something else.
Work at a convenience store.
Yeah, exactly. Just a note, Jason Reitman's father co-produced Up in the Air as well.
That's right, he did, yes.
They were able to work together, which is really cool.
Ivan's got a great screen savvy, but he's made a lot of stinkers in the past too, so let's not forget Junior. Yeah, I know I haven't. I've been trying to after 15 years. But this has been a fantastic experience having you here. Obviously the Oscars are a big time of year for